Well, hello, beautiful souls, wherever you are. Of course, this is Vonn Bource coming from down under in Australia. And today I woke up and I was told by my guides, Council of 12, we need to talk about the secret to life. Now, The Secret to Life is actually the title of my book, you see, that I wrote many years ago. And look, yes, it is still available on Kindle. The only paperbacks that are available is through me. You'd have to, send me a message and I can post it to you. But that isn't the reason that I really wanted to talk about it, not to promote my book as such, although it's still very, very good. The reason that I wrote that was because I'm insatiably curious and I wanted to know how I work. How does this work? And I buy a toaster, as I always say, and you're told don't stick a knife in it. That's about all you're told. But we bring ourselves into this amazing, amazing physicality, and there's no manual, no instructions. And I needed an instruction manual because at the time my life definitely was off the rails. So I sat down and go, why don't we have an instruction manual? And so slowly but surely I was given, and it was all channeled to have an idea. And you know my favourite song, one of my favourite songs, I'm always saying that, if at the day of my life celebration, please play this song. And it is What's It All About, Elfie? I won't sing it for you, but I think it's a wonderful song because isn't that what we're asking all the time? What's it all about, Elfie? What is this all about? We struggle and then and we have wonderful times of joy and love, and then we plummet into despair and it's just everything, isn't it? But that is what it's all about. It's all about the experience of all this diversity of emotions, experiences, because that is what the infinite intelligence actually embodies itself for, to be able to have that experience, to be able to go into duality so it can see itself in those experiences. So, what is the secret to life? Well, the secret to life, in actual fact, is that everything is energy. Everything is a vibrational frequency, somehow configuring itself into an individuated form. So think about that. I have a cup of tea here, right, in case I lose my voice in the early morning. Isn't that lovely? Yes, so, that cup of tea, that is vibrational frequency that has rearranged itself or arranged itself into a cup, into tea, and into a hand that's holding the cup, and then into a Vonn that's having a little sip. Okay, then. So that all sounds wonderful, doesn't it? But for me, I am an incredibly practical person. Don't give me all of this woohoo stuff if you can't work with it. If I cannot improve my everyday life with it, and if I cannot use it as a contribution to inspire others to have the best of themselves, to experience the best of life. So, at the time when I wrote The Secret to Life, this is what was channeled for me in prose form. And I have to tell you a really funny story about that because writing was never, ever anything to do with me. I didn't know how to write. I still don't, I don't think, because I think something else writes through me. But I had so many friends. I had a particular friend who was so eloquent with her language. which I'm not. I'm very basic in my language. I like to know what a word means, and if it doesn't mean what I want to convey, then I don't use it or I use something different. Anyway, I diverse. Let's get back to the secret of life is. So I wrote at the time, or something wrote through me, to gain the knowledge and understanding that we are electromagnetic beings living in an energy field of unlimited potential. Well, let's just pull that apart for a minute before I read the whole thing. To gain the knowledge and understanding that we are electromagnetic energy beings living in an energy field of unlimited potential. Were we ever told that? Were we ever told when we went to school, oh, you are an electromagnetic being of unlimited potential? Because you see, that would not have served those who write the curriculums. Oops. No, not. I won't go down that pathway because it's changing, because everyone's changing. We are all realizing that each individual has a creative spark inside that it is encoded with from the infinite intelligence to express. And we are at our most unhappy when we are not expressing our passions, when we are not experiencing the joy of life through those creative passions. And so that is really something we need to look at, don't we? When we are programmed by our culture, by our ethnicities, by our scholastic endeavors, whatever it might be, that's just pushing us into boxes. But when we set free this amazing creative self-expression, that's when we are at our happiest. And you don't have to be a painter or a writer or a whatever. You know, I'm not actually at my happiest when I'm writing. That is not my greatest passion. It is a way that I communicate. Right now, talking to you, I am absolutely in my happiest because I am communicating with people. I'm sharing with you this incredible gift of life, and I'm sharing with you hopefully an inspiration to make you realize just how gifted we are in this life. So getting back to that, we have unlimited potential within us. No one has to give us that. No one has to give us permission for us to live that. Oh, no, that's not quite true. See, I can never say anything that isn't true because I get this tap tap on the shoulder from the 12. What I'm saying is that we have to give ourselves permission to live that unlimited potential. Are you? Are you doing that? Because that's the secret to life. So it says here, okay, we go back to, right, living in an energy field of unlimited potential and possibilities. And once that knowledge is attained, right, so now you've got the knowledge, now you have to attain it, right, and you have to maintain it, to enable us to utilize it consciously, at will, by choice, for the good of all. Because at the end of the day, we're all here to be of service to the planet, to ourselves, to each other. We feel good when we do that, don't you think? Even just digging in the garden and talking to your plants. I talk to everybody. I talk to my plants. And they love it. So every thought you think either makes you healthy or sick, wealthy or poor, happy or miserable. Choose wisely, for the power is in the knowledge that you can choose to think anything you please and to say anything you please. You know, we shoot off at the mouth so much without accountability, without realizing that the impact every word we speak has, not just impact on the world out there, it has impact on ourselves because it's sending a message to the infinite intelligence that just says yes and brings you back whatever you just put out there. So, go forth and think happy thoughts, healthy thoughts, rich thoughts, and view the world with hope, joy, and love, and have a glorious experience. So, the basic understanding or understanding of the secret to life is that we are, and everything is, a vibration, a frequency that has arranged itself into a specific form, into maybe an emotion, into whatever you're experiencing is a frequency. The foundation of everything you are, everything you want, everything that you engage in is a frequency. But we see it all as solid or as form, and that is the biggest transition that we are actually making. To know that everything is fluid, everything is, and what that means is that we can, and we do, move that frequency around according to what we think and what we say and what we believe in. Now, I will do another video about beliefs because they are fundamental and foundational. But today I want to talk about the secret to life being that everything is energy. And that energy is sent out. We are like radiators. You know, you walk into a room, you can feel the vibes, can't you? And if the vibe is good, you stay. And what does it mean? It means that that vibe is actually in resonance with your vibe. And when it's not in resonance with your vibe, you walk and you go, ooh. And I want to ask you a question. Oh, and by the way, if you're enjoying this video and you think of someone who might benefit from it, please, please subscribe, like, that little bell, and share, because we are the way showers, and the more people we can reach, the more people have the opportunity to join us in this journey of awakening. So, again, when we go into situations where the vibes are not in resonance with us, how many of you, and come on, comment, honestly, how many times do you stay because you don't want to offend somebody? Yeah, we've all done it. Okay, so then what are we doing? Who are we harming the most? Ourselves. Because the resonance is not beneficial to you. And the more that we move into this ascended state, what changes the most in us, and why we need to change from this carbon-based to crystalline-based or whatever that means, is we need to become lighter in our cell structure to be able to become more aware of vibration before we interpret it into what it is actually doing or meaning or being. So we need to let go of having an opinion or of interpreting everything through our intellect. When we can move through this beautiful place as a sensory being, all of our extrasensory perceptions are being sharpened. So the more that we feel our way into the world and we go, well, yeah, that's a nice vibration. I like that. I'm going to stay there. I'm going to nurture myself with that vibration. Or, oh, that vibration is definitely not in resonance. But what we tend to do is we judge it. We go somewhere and it doesn't feel good and we go, well, that's an awful place and those are awful people and that and that word hate, I hated that. Wow, well, just feel the vibration of those words I just used. That has not damaged the place you're in, it damages you. instantly because you are pulling that vibration into you. And it shatters your own vibration. And you feel awful. You go out and you go, oh, I feel terrible. But they didn't do it to you. That didn't do it to you. You did by having an opinion, a judgment, rather than an observation of, wow, that is not in resonance with me. And that's fine. But because of I honor me and I am an extrasensory being of frequency, I know that it is a sign that I take myself somewhere else that is more beneficial to me. Can you do it? Well, once you get into that inner standing, and that is how you navigate the world, that is when you stop being engaged with what the rest of the world is doing, whether it's in chaos or it isn't in chaos. Do you want to be in chaos? No. Well, then no, go there. It's not in resonance with you. Let those who are playing in that field, let them play without any opinion, but with observation and go, wow, those people are doing that. How fascinating. It's not in resonance with me, therefore it's not beneficial for me, therefore it's not my soul mission. My soul is not interested in having that experience at this time. And I'm sure that at some stage in our life, we've all had chaos. We've all had suffering. We've all had lack. We've all had pain, right? That is what this whole polarity, this world of duality is offering us. But as we move into this awareness, this awakening is about who we are. And who we truly are is pure energy vibrating at different frequencies. It's like you're an instrument of the infinite intelligence and you need to learn to play it. You know, you've heard somebody who can play a piano beautifully. Yeah, it's like nature just flows out at their fingertips. Da, 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 da. It's not me. But it is magnificent because it resonates. It makes everything in you. Yes, and then you hear somebody who's just starting and they go doink, 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 and you go, oh, I need to go somewhere else because you're not resonating with it. Well, think of yourself as that instrument and you are learning to play it to perfection. And the only way to do that is through the resonance of your vibrational frequency. Really, really connecting with that, really, really feeling that in you. So yesterday, I had a little bit of a plummet in vibrational frequency because those of you who know me, you know that I have two beautiful Burmese fur babies. And they're like rescue cats. And one of them, she was sitting on my lap and I wanted her to get off, so I tried to push her off, and she is always very insecure. And so she gets worried and she puts her nails out, and one of her nails penetrated into my finger. And of course, you know, when you're in pain, what do? You react. I screamed, I pushed her off, and I got really mad at her. And the poor thing's looking at me and saying, what did I do? Anyhow, but you know, my vibrational frequency just plummeted and I stormed around the house going, I don't need you to cause me pain. I was just a bit crazy, really. But we do that, isn't it? Because the body didn't like it. You're instantly out of your resonance. And so I stopped, looked at myself and laughed and went, well, there you go. Isn't it lovely to still be human? And so you know, she's following me around going, is it all right? Is it all right? And I had to learn to play my instrument a little bit better, right? It was a bit out of tune. So learn to play your instrument so you're in tune. Are you in tune with you? And those of us who are on this path, we are in tune with love. We are in tune with peace. We are in tune with harmony. Mostly, I think what we need to be is in tune with acceptance, accepting everything that is, and allowing it to be what it is, and then making a choice. What are we going to be in um, in response to that? They're just giving me this lovely analogy. I'm a bit of a fan uh, of jazz music, okay? And what I love about them is when you get a whole lot of jazz musicians together, all they need is a key. What key are they playing in? And then they can all play their individual instrument, and somehow it all comes together, and it is the most amazing experience of resonance. And that's what we have to do with ourselves. We need to learn to play this instrument so that it is in the right key with all that is around us. And this is what I find, and this is how the Connect to Soul New Earth community is just expanding, because everybody who meets the people from the community, they go, "Who are you? What do you do?" Because the radiation of this joy, it's palpable. And we had a group of our beautiful ladies went off to see an exhibition in a country town, and I think they raised a roof because they were so full of joy and, the joie de vivre, right? The joy of life. Wonderful term. And so we spread that around, and people want some. And anyone who comes to our breakfasts, they just walk in, and nobody asks them, "Who are you? What do you believe? What do you belong to? What is your ethnicity? What is your this? They just open their arms and give them a big hug and say, "Welcome." And that's it. Nothing else. So that's what we've got to learn to do. We need to learn to play our instrument at a resonance of what we're asking for: the harmony, the peace, the love, and the well-being for all, and the total acceptance. And on top of that list is gratitude. Gratitude for it all, because everything is offering us an opportunity to become more of ourselves, to play this instrument with greater skill. So if you've enjoyed this rambling of mine this morning, please again subscribe, like, and comment. I love your comments. And just before I go, just know, so many of you say, I'm all alone, I don't have anyone. There are 8 billion people on this planet, so they tell me. You're never alone. You just need to go and introduce yourself to somebody and say, "Hi, can I sit with you? Do you want to share a coffee? Do you want to?" Someone once told me, "A stranger is only a friend you haven't got to know yet." So go out, reach out to somebody, do something for somebody, right? Connect with people. Wow, I just saw that. Did you see that? There was an orb flying over my head. I know some of you tell me that, but I never noticed it before. But that was definitely one flying over my head. So please remember, reach out to someone today. Play your instrument a little better today. And let's be the loudest, the most beautiful orchestra of the new earth and the new earth humans that you have ever heard. I love you, love yourself more, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Wow, this has been just spontaneous and wonderful. Let's go do it. Yeah. Bye. See you next time.